What is it, my friend? Welcome to episode 125 of the Anthony John Amos podcast. And today I'm going to bring you a bit of my genius, which is some fire. Now, I'm willing to bet that this conversation, it will either liberate you or it's going to give you a reason just not to listen to me anymore. And I'm willing to make that gamble because, just sometimes things need to be said, right? Because it serves. So if you're willing to be refined by the fire, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Anthony John Amos podcast, the one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amos. My friends call me AJ, and my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show.
All right, welcome back. Now, before I put on my preacher's hat, I want to let you know about a little free training I have put together for you. It's all about how to rewire and transform your subconscious patterns in 90 days or less so you embody your potential and unlock freedom in your life and your business. And you can get immediate access to that training by just going to trainingwithaj.com. There's no opt-in or anything required like that. To simply go to trainingwithaj.com if you want to learn how to take advantage of some unconventional wisdom to really embody your potential and create life on your terms. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's Sunday sermon. Last week, I heard a preacher preaching about snakes. Now, this thing has nothing to do with snakes. I'm just giving you some context, kind of what inspired me. So last week, I heard a preacher talking about snakes, and he used a verse from Matthew 23, chapter 23, verses 27 through 28 to be exact. And it says, starting in verse 27, "Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, ye hypocrites! You are like whitewashed homes, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness." Now, this got me to thinking about how most entrepreneurs are hypocrites. Seriously. In fact, this goes way beyond entrepreneurs. I'm willing to say the vast majority of people on this planet are hypocrites. Now, maybe you're thinking man, that's a little harsh. But here's the thing. This needs to be said. Most people are, as Jesus said in Matthew chapter 23 and verse 27, beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, they are full of the bones of the dead. Now, what do I mean by this? You see, so many people are too caught up in making sure they appear good to the outside world. They are caught up doing everything they can to appear good to the marketplace. They are caught up doing everything they can to appear good to their partner. They are caught up in everything they can do to appear good to their children, when in reality, their internal world is certainly not anything like their external world. And most entrepreneurs, most people, have been taught to mass, kill, and destroy anything that counters what they want their external world to be like. And that, my friend, is hypocrisy. You see, in John 8:31 through 32, Jesus said, "If you abide in my word, and you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Now, I think what Jesus is trying to tell us here is when you acknowledge that your internal world doesn't match what you want your external world to be, when you're willing to connect to that truth, that is what will set you free. Like when you're willing to connect to that truth and surrender to the experience of that truth, then you have the power to create the outcomes you desire. Now, let me come at this from another angle. As a human, you go through life and a neutral event happens. This happens to all of us. And originally, when the neutral event happens, the event means nothing. It means nothing. It's simply an event. But then from that event, based upon the subconscious filters that you carry, that were formed based upon your parents, your culture, your environment, and upbringing, thoughts and emotions start churning. And then from those thoughts and feelings, belief systems start getting triggered. And then from those belief systems, your reticular activating system, which is a set of nuclei in your brain, this is biological, starts looking for evidence that your belief systems are true. And lo and behold, based upon your subconscious filters, you find evidence that your belief systems are true, which then lead to confirmation and conviction. And then from that place, if you don't like your internal world that you're experiencing, you look for a book, you look for a coach, you look for a program, you look for something to fix or bypass your internal experience, while at the same time, doing all you can to keep up your external experience, your external appearance that you've worked so hard to craft, because you don't want people to find out about the internal experience that you're having. And this is the pattern that plays out for most entrepreneurs. And this, my friend, is hypocrisy. Beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, you're full of bones of the dead. I told you, I'm going to bring you a little bit of fire today. And unfortunately, this is how most people try to play this game of life and this game of business. And it's why 72% of entrepreneurs are affected by some sort of mental health disorder. Now, here's the good news. Just like Jesus said in John chapter 8, 31 through 32, if you abide in my word, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I'm here to tell you, if you want to access limitless ambition, if you want to embody a higher level of your potential, if you want to unlock freedom in your life and in your business, you must stop trying to bypass your experience, because it's futile. You must stop trying to run and hide from the truth of your internal experience. You must stop trying to mask and kill and destroy your internal experience. Now, I know this firsthand. I've led countless of other incredibly talented people to connect to their truth, to surrender to the experience, and then go forth and create outcomes. And every single time I do this, my clients do this, they unlock a peace and a power that surpasses understanding, and they find that they're able to break through and create next level results sustainably. Now, why is this? Because they're not being a hypocrite. They're starting with the truth. They realize that they're more than their thoughts and their feelings. And they learn that all of their emotions are messengers. And they learn that when their stories and the meanings that they've created are disempowering them from creating the desires that they have, that they can take responsibility for that and then create new stories and meanings. And this is one of the greatest gifts of being a human being. You know, like, I used to think the best way forward was just to bear down and grit through life. And what I've learned is that willpower in and of itself will only get you so far before you either burn out, give up, or burn what you've created to the ground. And I think that Jesus was right. The truth, not what you want the truth to be, not what you believe the truth to be, not what you want truth to be or shouldn't be. I'm talking about the truth, the absolute truth of your experience. When you align with that, that's where you find freedom. And look, I get it. It can be scary. I'm not discounting that. Yet I want you to consider the only thing that makes it scary is the stories and the meanings that you've created around the experience. Because the experience in and of itself is just an experience that will last anywhere from 90 seconds to 12 minutes or so. And my good friend Jonathan Heston says experience is kind of like standing in a river. Every moment you stand in a river, you're standing in a new river. Every moment you stand in a river, you're standing in a new river. It's not the same river. It's not the same water. Moment by moment by moment by moment, the water, the river is constantly flowing. Your experience is the same. Your experience is the same if you'll allow yourself to transcend your filters and surrender to your experience moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. So the lesson that I want to give to you today is to stop being a hypocrite, to stop pretending, to stop hiding, to stop masking your internal experience, to stop carrying around the weight of needing to have everything on the external be perfect. Now, there's a bit of paradox to this. If you listen to my show here long enough, you understand paradox. There's a bit of paradox to this because I'm not saying let's be a whiny little victim about it and go around life being like, well, this is my experience. Poor me. This is my experience. Ba, 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 ba. I'm inviting you to take radical responsibility for your entire experience, both your internal world and your external world. And I'm inviting you to consider, unless those two worlds are congruent, you're going to constantly feel like you're running up a mountain with parachutes tied behind your back. And I'm here to tell you, there's an easier way. One where you have the courage to tell yourself the truth of your entire experience. One where you're willing to have the courage to take responsibility for your entire experience. And when you're willing to do that, my friend, you become unstoppable in life and in business. So my invitation to you today is this. Where in your life, where in your business are you being a hypocrite? Like, where are you not telling the truth about your internal experience? And how can you start facing the truth about that and taking responsibility for your entire experience so you can access a new level of truth and power that will set you free? Well, my friend, that's all I have for you in this episode of the Anthony John Mix podcast. I hope it served you. I hope a bit of the fire has inspired you. And if you know someone who needs to hear this episode, send it over to them in their DM, screenshot it, share it on social media, send them an email, text message, whatever you have to do to get this episode into their ear holes. And also keep those 5-star reviews coming over on iTunes, because that's what helps this show found by more people. And every single week, I'm bringing you 2 episodes for free. I ask nothing. And it would be awesome if you'd give back to me by leaving a review. So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.